Go ahead.
Tonight was one of your better defensive performances. Statistically, what did you see as the difference there?
Just thought we were very gritty from start to finish. I mean, the first quarter, we held them under 30 each quarter, which is really saying something with their shooting and their playmaking and all that stuff. Just a pretty determined group tonight, and the crowd was great. And I think the other thing that is really an important thing to talk about is McConnell's contribution in this game. I want to make sure to get him in sooner, get him more involved, and he was just he was defiant out there defensively. And our second unit guys, they answered the bell. I mean, every one of them was a significant plus in the game, and but he was the leader of the charge.
Yeah, you talk about guys being plus. I think Andrew was plus 13. What was he doing to be successful?
He just plays a very sensible, old school, all-around game. He's tough. I mean, when you put a rookie on Tyler Hero on the last play of the game with a pretty good idea the ball's going to go to him, and he makes that kind of a defensive stand and makes him shoot a falling away, contested, difficult three-point shot. I mean, and he does it without fouling. I mean, that's strong. That's strong for a guy who's picked in the second round. Although we view him as a first-round pick.
You guys only gave up 5 points in the final 6 or so minutes of this game. Did you change something, or what did you see that went so well down the stretch to close this one out?
There were some slight adjustments, but really it was all about chasing the shooters around, and we knew Adebayo was going to have the ball. They just, Eric just kept, opening up the floor and pointing to him, so we knew he was taking and just going to try to drive it through us. And Miles made a couple of really good defensive stands, and then, the goaltending call that was reversed was, one of the great plays of the game. That block, and Nembhard stop, and then we just had a lot of guys do a lot of good things, and a game like this is never going to be easy, just never. And the thing that I loved about tonight was along the way there were difficult things that were happening, things that were going wrong, but guys kept lifting each other up through the whole thing. There was one play where it was one where Mathurin had the block in the second half. I mean, Tyrese sprinted full speed to slow that guy down to allow Mathurin to get back in the play and make the block, and that was a big momentum play and got the crowd into it. And there were several plays like that. O'Shea had one rough possession at one end, at the other end he takes a charge. It's just there were plays like that and examples of that kind of resiliency all night.
He changed their defense, tried to shrink the floor, it looked like, in the second half. What did you guys have to change to respond to that, and how do you feel like you guys did, especially down the stretch?
Well, we won the game, so that's good. But, look, we need work on it. And they're one of the few teams that really plays a lot of zone and gives a lot of multiple looks, both full court and half court. And so, we were making slight adjustments throughout. Nembhard really did a good job with a couple of attacks in the middle of the zone. But they're going to test you. They're going to test you. They're going to test you with their skill, their three-point shooting, their toughness, their wherewithal, and they're going to test you with a bunch of different looks defensively.
Do you have any update on Chris and his ankle at this time?
No. We'll know more in the next day or two. He'll get some more tests done in the next day or two, and he won't play Monday. I can promise you that. Based on what I'm hearing initially, he's got some swelling and stuff, but it's going to be next man up, and if we're lucky, maybe Neesmith will be ready to play soon. That would certainly help.
Rick fishing with 2 rookies, especially Nembhard, though. In what ways will this benefit him getting that so early into his career?
I don't think he's phased at all. I don't think he's phased one bit by any big moment, any big matchup. I mean, this guy just goes out there and plays the game. And you know, his poise is one of his really impressive attributes. But I mean, I really love him as a player. And look, Matherin's unafraid. You know, you talk about 2 guys that couldn't give a shit what everybody else thinks. I mean, these guys believe they belong out there, and they're doing some good things so far.
Was that for the end of the game when you fouled up 3? Was that by design, or did it just kind of work out that way?
It's by design, and it's a split-second play. I mean, if it's a fraction later, it's in the act of shooting. You know, so we did a good job with execution there. But look, these games are all tough. They're all tough, and you know, going through the hard things is how a young team grows. Okay.
You guys.